Maurice, I'm going to start by telling you that someone is going to go to hell today.
Oh, what? Who? Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it me? Is it you? Who is it?
It's you. I'm righteous as fuck. I'm not going to
Fuck.
hell. No, you
Fuck.
are. You a filthy unbeliever. Have fun
I'm a
in
sinner.
hell.
I'm a sinner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are. Sorry.
Fuck. Shouldn't have done it.
Apologies. Yeah.
Shouldn't have done it.
And Seth will be next. Hello, everybody. This is Gerudo King and his better half.
Soulestial.
This is going to be a very fun video about how do I even describe this? It's going to be a commentary on how people will take their personal life or death experiences, their personal experience, and use that to make the truth relative and false. It is thus false. It is going to be that. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also just funny.
It's
comical.
Yeah, we're going to do two things. We're going to laugh and we're going to criticize, but with the scriptures because we're smart. So that's all I got.
Let's
see.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
It's funny. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do this. All right. Let me start by presenting my screen. That feels important. Wait. Would like to record this computer's screen and audio. Oh, yeah. Wait, I'm supposed to.
I'm gonna get a virus.
No, you'll be fine. There we go. Okay. And I've never seen this before. Maurice, you've seen this before? Or some of this?
We kind of saw it together. We were briefly listening to it.
Yeah. So this guy essentially... What?
Did you just fart?
No, I didn't fart.
Don't deny it.
I didn't just fart. You can...
I'm just kidding. You're shifting your position.
Well, now I am, because now I'm like, well, dang. Now what if I actually fart? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna watch this guy tell us about hell. We're going to count as many verses as he quotes today. I want to
yes,
I want to document every single verse from God that he brings. Every shred of evidence. That is what I want.
Every shred of evidence that goes against what he's saying. That literally says the opposite.
Yeah, we will also cover the opposite. Let me also pull up the concordant.
Okay.
We probably should have done that.
Pull it up, pull it out, whip it out, pull it up.
That's more of a reference. Perfect. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so we're gonna have the concordant here on the side, just in case. We're not gonna be making many claims to prove the validity of this version. Obviously, there's a ton of articles in here. This is only one small section. There's a ton. So just so that you know, yeah, we're going to be arguing against with a proper translation. Here we go.
I joined the gang at a very young age, between the age of 12 and 13. I had a rough life. Chicago was a hard place to grow up. Unfortunately, I took that route. Years have passed, and I pretty much mastered the craft, so to speak, of the streets. Give my life to, I consider them like a family to me. And come to find out, they stabbed me in the back and set me up to get me killed. Hey, wait a minute, something is not right. And I had a weird feeling in my gut about this guy. All of a sudden, I looked up, and the guy looked at me with a smirk. He's just kind of like evil.
Yeah, it is. I think there's a part where it like goes.
Yeah. I really don't
feel it. It has a powerful testimony. He grew up in Chicago on the streets in a gang. He was shot twice. He was taken out of his body and went to hell.
Wow.
His wife actually reached out to me, unbeknownst to him, so that he can share his powerful testimony. And he's bravely here today to do so. And so I'm thankful to have you hear this powerful testimony. Welcome with me today, Dominic. Hi, Dominic.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Thank you for having me today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dominic, do you know anything about the original Greek scriptures? That is the question on the table. If she were an honest interviewer, she would start with that. She would not start with whatever this is. You would look for credibility in an argument. That is called the I believe it's actually the logos. The logos of an argument is the credibility. Ethos, pathos, logos. Maybe the ethos. Maybe it's the ethos. I don't remember. One of the two. It's one of the foundations of an argument. And unfortunately, like it or not, one video from Mr. Dominic here is not going to change what the original Greek scripture says. So who are you going to believe? God or Dominic being portrayed as the answer by this woman here who has given no credibility to herself or to Dominic?
Yes, I'm so thankful that you came on here to share. And so I know this is your first time sharing, correct?
Yes, publicly on a digital platform. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So, Dominic, why don't you begin and start where you want to start?
I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, like you stated at the beginning. I joined the gang at a very young age, between the age of 12 and 13. I had a rough life. Chicago was a hard place to grow up. My father wasn't around, unfortunately, so the streets became my father. Growing up like that, you have so many different influences. You don't know what's right. You think everything someone's older than you that you look up to is right. So I thought, the gang life, the gang culture, having money, everything was a righteous way to live because that's all that's programmed to us in our community. Unfortunately, I took that route. Years have passed, and I pretty much mastered the craft, so to speak, of the streets. And after a while, I just became hardened. I became a hardened person, But there was something always in my mind here and there, like the Holy Spirit would kind of whisper things in my ear, certain places, certain things that would tell me I shouldn't be at places. But, we don't listen as humans. We want to please our flesh first, and that's what ended up happening. I dedicated more of my life to the streets, more into just getting money and just being selfish. And years have passed, and I put a lot of trust into my family, which my former gang, I don't want to name the actual organization, but the street organization that I did give my life to. I considered them like a family to me. And come to find out, they stabbed me in the back and set me up to get me killed. It was pretty hurtful. It's still, to this day, I'm getting my trust back thanks to the Lord Jesus Christ. I had a lot of trust issues because of that, but the Lord has, redeemed me from those trust issues, and I'm getting better and better in trusting people again. But just to go on further to say is that it was like 2009 and on so forth that my life really started to change. I just started noticing a difference around the people I was hanging around. And one day we noticed this guy was really just following us. And Chicago was pretty big, in the uptown area especially. Just in a district alone, it's like 500,000 people just within that district. So just to see, I kept seeing this guy, and to run to a person 3 times in an hour, that's kind of impossible at home unless someone is following me. So I told my friend, I said, hey, this guy is following me. And my guy, oh, you're paranoid. Nobody's thinking about you. You're not big time like that. So I was okay. But the second time I saw him, I said, hey, wait a minute, something is not right. And I had a weird feeling in my gut about this guy. So I guess an hour had passed, and I just brushed it off. But I was coming outside my building, and I saw him again. I said, okay, I'm going to go up to this guy and ask him where I know him from. And as I approached him, he said, hey, do you have a lighter? So as I was digging in my pocket, I was going to say, sir. But then all of a sudden, I saw a green flash. It was a bright green flash, and I smelled sulfur. It smelled like burning matches. That's what I remember distinctively, the smell of like matches if you would set a matchbook on fire. All of a sudden, I looked up, and the guy looked at me with a smirk, and he just kind of like evil grin, like, I got you. It was just like it was so evil, but I just remember everything moving in slow motion, and I fell back. When I fell backwards, this is where the supernatural part started. This is when my life changed. When I fell backwards, everything went.
I do believe him up until that point.
Yeah.
Until he mentions this. So tell me what you told, or tell them what you told me.
Well, so he's going to go into detail about this whole spiritual hell experience. It seems so real to him. So I'm thinking that whatever that substance was is either some kind of like chemical that's either making him trip, or it's DMT smoke, which I know that, if you smoke DMT, you have these trips, these experiences that could go extremely terribly wrong. You can experience things like hallucinations and demons and actually see that, and it feels so real to you. So that's where my logic went, because obviously this man did not go to hell. I don't know, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's, again, because all we have right now is based off of hearsay. While it is true that he himself may have visualized something, it is not at all true as to fact that where he went is to an afterlife.
Right.
Because God simply never says that.
And I'm saying
is
this
what
only
happens.
because, like, I do believe people can have experiences where they not, like, obviously fully die, but, like, they're close to dying. And scientifically, there is that DMT that is released at the end of a person's life who is dying. And that's where I'm thinking, like, okay, either he was actually coming to his
Right.
death and that DMT was being poured out into his brain, or the altar where the
Yeah.
guy sprayed some chemical stuff, you know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, the altar. Okay.
Blank, dark. But this kind of darkness is not a darkness that's here on earth. This darkness is alive. It's a gripping darkness. I mean, it was so dark, like I was saying, that you could blindfold yourself, put yourself under the ground, blindfold yourself again, and it still doesn't compare to this type of darkness. It's a spiritual component to the darkness that I was in.
Yep.
But the weirdest part was when I fell backwards, I started instantly falling forward. I was falling down face forward as I fell backwards. That was the weirdest part. That's the spiritual aspect of it. But as I'm falling, I don't even know how to measure it, you know.
We're already making a lot of sense.
We're making a claim that this was a spiritual thing. Where's your proof that it was a spiritual thing that caused you to fall forward and backwards at the same time? Is that in Matthew 12? Is that in John 4? Is that in 1 Peter 5? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, congratulations, you are a Christian and you worship a false god. Let's continue.
They say the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. That was faster than that. It was I'm just going, but the further I'm going down, just falling and falling, the more and more I felt like I was getting stripped of everything. I knew I was getting stripped of the things that God gave me that I took for granted, like hope, love, fellowship.
Hope.
God gives me hope.
Damn that word. Damn that word. It's expectation. Expectation, not hope. I'm sorry. Hope is pointless. It is nothing. It is relative. It's how to even put it into words. Once again, it's something that revolves around worry. Worry that something might not happen. Well, it's the same thing as fear. Worry that something might not happen, or worry that something will happen.
Damn, you're making a lot of sense.
Well, it's
That's
stoicism,
crazy.
but it's true. It's that is the reality of the
Whoa.
situation. Hope is annoying. It's stupid. The Greek word is expectation. I don't remember the Greek elements of the word right now, but you can verify it again in all the shit that we said we're not going to verify tonight. So, yeah, it's expectation. Sorry.
Patience, everything. The further I was falling down fast, everything was getting stripped from me.
Well, that is because he was entering level 3. That is the Omega sanction level of hell. And if you go there, apart from your body, you enter into sudden death mode.
You! Bless me, thank me.
Bless me, thank me.
Bless me, thank me. You didn't say bless you.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it, and then you, turned it into an expectation. You're supposed to hope about that.
Oh, okay. The one thing. That's the
I was getting more and more afraid. But this is a different type of fear. It's not a fear like here on earth. It's a different fear that you have to experience. Like the Lord says, there's a difference between reading and talking, but experience. But there's no other way. I'm trying to get.
Don't know where that was, but okay. God told him.
Proverbs
There's
4.
a difference between reading and talking.
Psalm 153. Now, look, don't get me wrong. There may be a verse where something like that is said, but at the same time, I am willing to bet my life on the fact that he is very likely taking that right out of context and twisting half of that sentence into something totally different. Again, I don't really know what verse he's talking about, but what can you say?
Close as I can to explain this. there's a lot of things spiritually that can't be put on in words here on this earth, in this dimension, so to speak. But as I'm falling, I'm feeling more and more frightening. I started hearing the first.
You can prove that though. I mean, I think it's fair just as a human, but again, it's not proven. He didn't say anything that was proven. Let's be atheists. No. She said, okay.
First thing I noticed was laughter around me. As I'm falling, it was like this laughter, and it was like she's giggling, little like a, but the laugh itself, they were laughing, I felt it. It was a different type of laugh. It was a demonic.
Why is this always mankind's view of hell, bro? Why is mankind always
the demons are fucking correctional officers?
People are just like laughing as you fall. Like they do it in silly movies. They do it in horror movies.
Fuck you.
There's a Panic at the Disco music video that literally has that exact imagery of like someone laughing as
They
you're
think
falling
they
down.
think the intro to Thriller is playing as they're going down. Darkness always across the land.
Yeah.
That's not the intro, but you know
it's
what
like
I mean.
that, yeah, like that
Demons rolling in search of blood to terrorize. You're like, what the fuck? That's what it is. Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, no, it's like
That was hard though, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was smooth with it.
Some would call him a smooth criminal.
Okay.
You look like a bobblehead. So yeah, no, it's I don't know. I honestly I have no words. It's just funny. Like all we can do is just like look at this stuff and laugh. You have to be willing to accept that.
Hi, Happy Go Lucky. He said you have a
Hi,
great
happy.
t-shirt.
Oh yeah. Well, I do.
Goosebumps.
Well, no, not Goosebumps. It's not Goosebumps.
It's Goosebumps.
It's not Goosebumps.
What?
Look at my shirt.
I mean Ghostbusters. Sorry, I'm high as fuck.
Wait, what? No, yeah, this is
Goosebumps.
no, this is Ghostbusters.
I know that movie. Where the ghost is putting down the guy's pants. Yeah, I know that movie.
Why was that the thing you cited?
Well, I just had to prove to you that I knew it, So I needed a really notable scene. I needed a notable scene.
That was you could have mentioned the giant marshmallow man. That's kind of a good reference.
It wasn't
sexual
it didn't
enough
do it
for
for
you.
me. Anyways.
So apparently laughing on your way down to hell, that's accurate.
Yeah.
That's
Exodus 3:16.
Yeah.
There will be demons that will laugh on your way down.
That's John 3:17. God so loves the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but be having everlasting life. Unless you go to hell, in which case the demons, they begin to laugh at you. John 3 took a turn at that moment, and it was kind of disturbing, but at least the rest of the book is normal.
Hatred, like I just knew whatever was laughing at me hated me more than like with anything you can even describe.
Your own conscious self, my guy. Your own conscious self. Sin has corrupted your mind, and I'm sorry to say it, but it has. Hey, if you want proof as to what I'm saying, it's Romans 1:18 to 3:20, particularly between 3:10 and 3:20. And also, you can look at Romans 7, where Paul points out how sin gains an incentive through the law, which you had a law on the street to on, which through it, the sin in you gain an incentive and took advantage of you, of your spirit. It's not fair to you. You deserve to hear something better. You deserve to hear a better message, but we can't get anywhere if you're sticking to this experience, which will be corrected for you, thankfully, on Judgment Day. Actually, no, and maybe not on Judgment Day. It may be a second death. I don't know. It's entirely dependent on what God does. I wouldn't be surprised if he put this guy on the new earth, but put the woman who is pretty much propagating this, which I can only imagine is for her own personal gain. Because why would you think Why would you think that this is going to do anything good for anybody? And
But
it's just horrible. I'm sorry. It's just horrible.
falling out his laughter. The second thing that caught my attention was this horrible smell. See, people don't realize.
See, smells like, bro, are you dead or are you not? Because I believe smell is a thing only living humans can do. So are you dead or are you alive?
Ecclesiastes 9:5 says the dead do not know anything.
Yeah.
So last I checked, if you don't know anything, then you don't know any smells. Sorry.
When you leave the physical body, you still have your five senses. You still have.
Where's that? Whoa.
Who said that?
Wait a minute.
The five senses, you still have them? Because
so are you dead or are you alive? See, that's the thing. I don't think Christians can wrap their heads around being fully dead and being fully alive. Not even that, but being dead and being alive. Because even they think, well, God didn't really die. He's still God, because to them, God is Jesus. Jesus didn't really die. He's a God.
It is the fullest form of denial that mankind has as to the curse that God inflicted on them. None of them want to accept the fact that they're going to die.
Yeah.
It's just mankind saying, no, that's not an argument, man. It's just ridiculous. And your five senses, it is very much scientifically provable that when you are dead, you're not going to feel anything. Your body has no feeling in it. It's not there anymore. You can't feel anything. The nerves there are what give you that feeling of touch, of hearing, for
the five senses?
Yeah. For nerves, sight, there's optical nerves. Yeah, I'm not stupid. Okay. Yeah. Then there's taste buds, all that. Okay. Yeah. All those nerves. Great. Five senses attached to those things in your body. If your spirit is there, then by definition, if you don't have a body on that spirit, then neither are really feeling anything. Because you took them apart. They're two pieces. They go together.
But the thing is, they're upgraded, modified. They're very more modified.
Proof.
Said who?
Source. Oh,
Trust me, bro.
I experienced it.
I mean, times a million. Your sight, your hearing, your vision, your touch, everything. You still have those things. So this is not a fairy tale where people, been taught that when you die, you just pass away. Everything's completely different. Yeah, it is different, but your senses are highly modified. But I smelled the smell, and the smell, I can even just talking about it right now. So I'm sorry if I pause a little bit.
What if there's some crazy thing and he's like, and that smell is just him smelling the lake of fire?
What if he's just smelling his own shit because he's on the verge of dying in real life or whatever, and he shit himself?
Real life or whatever.
And he shit himself, and he's almost dead there smelling it, and in his vision he's like,
so wait,
it smells like shit.
Wait a minute. He simultaneously gets shot and shits himself.
When people die, they shit themselves sometimes, right? That's a thing, right?
I mean, I've heard that's how I could die.
No. That's not funny. It's not funny. I'm telling something serious.
I know it's pretty funny. Yeah.
A lot of this comes back to me, and I still get a little emotional. But the smell alone is so bad, I can't even describe it. There's nothing you can have 1,000 corpses and dead animals and whatever you want to put in.
I don't know. I think that Biff from Back to the Future could probably school you in smell. Because, didn't he get hit by that manure truck?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
3 times? You've never... What?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to fix that.
To the mush, it smells like Febreze compared to what I smell in hell, the way it smells. So as I'm falling, then I noticed a little light, and it was so small, it was a pinpoint of light, and I heard, and as I'm falling, it's getting bigger and bigger, and then that's when it hit me. I knew and I thought it was a fairy tale. I'm not gonna lie, I just thought hell was a fairy tale. I thought it was a place of fantasy. I thought it was a scare tactic used by religions. I said, I'm going to hell. See, time doesn't exist over in eternity the way it exists here.
Oh man,
We
what?
almost had him.
Whoa.
We almost had him. Buddy, we almost had him.
What just happened? What? Wait a minute.
And then that's when it hit me. I knew, and I thought it was a fairy tale. I'm not gonna lie, I just thought hell was a fairy tale. I thought it was a place of fantasy. I thought it was a scare tactic used by religions.
It is.
Brother, you were so close.
You were right there,
You were so close.
on the verge, and I was following
On
along.
the edge.
I knew. I said, I'm going to hell.
You knew you're going to hell. You knew it. Hell, that's it, guys. Let's wrap up the video. I guess it's done. The end.
See, time doesn't exist over in eternity the way it exists here.
Oh,
Okay, so we have a big problem.
So now we're under. Okay, wait.
We have a big problem here. So time doesn't exist over in eternity, correct?
I knew. I said, I'm going to hell.
They are
See,
so.
time doesn't exist over in eternity the way it exists here.
Time doesn't exist over in eternity the way it exists here. Time doesn't exist over in without time. I mean, it's almost scary how well that fits. Like, time doesn't exist over in not time. But I'm sure that if you showed this man the fact of the word eternal in the King James being eon, he would probably remain ignorant to that fact. And I say it because, again, you could show him that hell's not in the original text, and I'm sure that he will remain rooted in his perception of reality as opposed to walking by the faith presented in the Greek scriptures.
Here. So all the time that I'm falling, people say, how would you have time? Time doesn't exist the way you can't even fathom it. Eternity it has no time. So as I'm falling, I knew this was hell. And then I heard the screams.
So wait, isn't this interesting to think about? If you're falling into hell, but you're in eternity and you're not really in time, then how do you know you're falling into hell from a point A to a point B? Because time and distance.
Yeah, wouldn't you just be?
You can't just subtract one from the equation without also subtracting the other.
So you wouldn't get anywhere. You'd just be stuck in this void.
And we're talking about the spirit now, in which there's also
you can't travel a distance.
Yeah, there's no physicality with the spirit. It's invisible by nature. It's the breath. It's spirit. It is invisible in quality. God is called the invisible God. Well, he is spirit. That's why he created an image, Christ. Yeah, it's very weird to sit here and it's like, what? Yeah, it's very weird to try and wrap my head around how this even could work. Time and distance has to be erased. I don't see how time but no distance, or sorry, no time but distance can still be. Because then wouldn't you be everywhere all at the same time?
Everywhere, everything all at once.
I heard it in my
people.
Yeah.
The screams and the yells of while as I'm falling in this portal, may I call it the portal, was getting bigger. You can just hear, and I knew it had to be buildings.
Portal of hell.
How much time passed?
Galatians 5:23.
I'm sorry.
Portal of hell.
I can't get
will
over this.
Consume you. Will swallow you whole.
As the portal gets bigger, how much time passes? How much time passes?
Right? Like,
it doesn't make sense.
What the fuck? I'm gonna go finish my major and I'm gonna be a physics major and just school all these fucking people. Because really, they're just breaking all laws of physics, time, space, matter, light.
And their excuse,
it's God, it's spiritual.
Yeah, God can do it. It's like, yeah, God can do it. You can't. The fuck are you doing in an eternal hell? They take that word eternal hell to a new extreme. It's just, mean, I'm sure God's in an eternal hell listening to your shit.
Hundreds of millions of billions of people down there.
Oh,
I mean,
Hundreds of millions, billions. Wait, hundreds of millions of billions.
Billions of hundreds of millions.
Hundreds.
Look at how he said it. Billions of hundreds of millions. Like that actually, that's not numerically accurate.
No. It's numerically accurate.
He
but-
said billions, then hundreds, then back to
So-
millions.
so
So it'd
think
be
about this.
billions, millions, hundreds.
No. There's billions, correct? But then there's millions of billions. So there's billions here,
Oh my God.
billions there, billions there, billions there. So there's a
So
million
billions
different
of billions.
And
'Cause
then
it's
there's
out.
hundreds of those.
Bruh,
So,
Jesus.
There's
Jesus fuck. God doesn't give a
so-
shit about any of them.
yeah, God,
About billions of hundreds of billions, millions of people. He don't give a shit about. Hell
So,
no.
God loses all of those people to Satan.
Oh
That's
my
what happens. I'm
fucking
sorry,
God,
guys.
dude.
It's a tragedy. God loses all those people. And the
Oh my
beauty is
God.
that is not even an accurate figure in the slightest. What about all the people before the flood who didn't have Christ at all?
They're in the
They're,
billions.
they're just in hell. Sorry.
screaming, and then their screams are gut wrenching. The same way I heard those demonic laughs, I can feel it in my gut and feel it in my soul. Those screams were worse because it was suffering. It was blasphemous things being yelled. It was just horrible. You know, people begging for one more chance. I mean, the thing is, when you're in the spirit, you can hear 1,000 noises at one time, but you can decipher and know each one, whether they're playing simultaneously or not. You can distinctively know and hear everything. You know,
Right, because you still have your senses, remember?
Oh, yeah. You
like
have
I say, it's hard
this in eternal hell.
to explain, but that's the closest I can get to it.
But you're dead. But you're also
But
not.
you're
living.
not dead.
You're-
So
yeah.
you're living,
So,
but you're dead.
yeah.
But as I fall and I see this portal, it looked like old cave, or like I'm entering an old cave system.
See, I hear people give those same exact experiences when they are tripping.
Yeah. Mhm.
On something.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and then that's when I felt the heat. See, now I'm looking back on it. It probably only
Oh, yeah, the feeling. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah,
Right.
that's one of your five
Um,
senses.
yeah.
already was hot when I got closer to it, but I was so shocked and so terrified by everything else. I didn't pay attention to the heat until I actually got into the first portion of the portal.
Yeah. Now
And then that's when the heat hit me. On top of everything.
that's what Jesus is doing. Welcome to hell, motherfucker. Welcome to hell. Welcome. Because I eat justice for breakfast.
It was just a bombardment of everything. And you know, here on earth, in our physical bodies, we feel things separately. Meaning, like, you know, our nervous system. So if you get poked in your back, you get punched or something like that, you can feel it just kind of in that spot. But no, there you feel it all simultaneously at one time. Pain.
I'm sorry, I'm just fucking imagining that. You're just like,
Bruh.
what the?
You just sudden everything.
It's just fucking dumb.
Wait a
It's
minute.
fucking
And let me
dumb, bruh.
understand this. So
Our nervous system. So if you get poked in your back, you get punched or something like that, you can feel it just kind of in that spot. But no, there you feel it all simultaneously at one time. Pain.
So wait a minute. If you feel it all simultaneously at one time, then why did it take a while for your sense of feel to catch up with your sense of everything else? And why, if that's the case, why did your smell kick in first? And if that's the case, how much time passed between all of these things coming into effect?
Everything. It gripped. It's your whole body because now I'm learning I was in my spirit body. I'm so used to being in my.
Oh, he's in a spirit body that
So
can
wait,
feel.
He's in a body, a new
A
body.
physical, spiritual body. Spiritual, physical body.
It's a new body.
Oh my fucking God.
I was so used to being in my physical body, it didn't make any sense to me. But when I felt this heat, it's a different fabric. It's a different fabric of heat. It's not like how you burn your finger here. It's a
No, it's like a stove. No.
spiritual component to it because it's
There's
Okay.
just okay.
Then where's your proof? What's the verse?
Literally, that's it.
That's why I
That's
said
it.
I still want to
Pull it
count.
up.
He has not pulled a single verse out.
Pull it up. All they have is literally
Not a single
lake
one.
of fire. First of all, okay, look at the context. But second of all, because they believe it so much, they're like, Let me make up all this other bullshit around it
Here will be
to
a fun one.
describe this lake of fire.
Now, they have a lake of fire. What they do is they say that that's hell. You've heard many a Christian say, I know this person's burning in the lake of fire. Funnily enough, you go to Revelation 20, verse 14, where it says something very interesting. In the King James Version, it says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So in the King James Version, this word is hell. So even if their idea of hell was the lake of fire were true, it means that then the Bible is saying, and death and hell were cast into hell.
That makes sense to a Christian. Boom, there you go.
I listen to people say that, and I'm like, I am not high right now, but you're kind of making me feel like I'm high right now. I don't really understand what you're saying. And
Yeah.
this is not normal for someone to think. Otherwise, very rational people are suddenly making claims that make no grammatical sense, no logical sense, all in the name of what? They say justice. Well, it's not justice. God says that the punishment, the righteous punishment that he inflicts time and time again in the law, in the Pentateuch, the righteous description of just penalty is death. He says it all the time. Death. He never says death plus eternal torment. He never says death plus
demons that are laughing at you.
Demons laughing. He says hell plus portal and falling down.
Cave fire.
He says death. That's it. No more, no less.
It's a different type of hot. I don't even, I'm trying my best to describe the heat, but the heat is it's beyond. I mean, just say if I wanted to put it on a temperature scale, I would say 12,000 degrees and up. And nothing physical here, especially in the flesh, could withstand that.
12,000 degrees, bro. You said it. That's how hot hell is. We have a confirmed
There you go.
temperature for
He
hell.
knew.
Yeah. So for context, 450 degrees is how hot your stove can get when you're cooking yourself a little bit of chicken. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look up how hot 12 degrees is, or 12,000 degrees is. Oh, how hot is the sun? Let's get about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So hell is just a smidgen hotter than the sun.
Honestly, it doesn't really seem that bad.
I mean, we're just playing like in that. I mean, eventually you just kind of get used to that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's just like a constant heat. It feels like Texas regularly. It's fine. We can do this. This guy's reasonable.
He's reasonable.
At least it's not 14,000
That's
degrees,
their reasoning.
Okay? If it was 14,000 degrees, then I'd be like,
That's
okay,
a little OD.
that's a little unmerciful there. But since it's only 12,000, that's whatever.
So, but as I'm falling, and I enter this portal, and I feel the heat, I'm hearing the yells, it's like it's so overwhelming. And at this time, by the time I got to the bottom, I just knew I was in hell, and I knew I was going to hell.
What is that music? Do you hear that music?
It's like very dramatic music in the back because they want to be all spooky and all like dramatic, and this could be you.
It sounds like the Dark Knight score. Like the Joker's about to let's play with a little fire, shall we? And just do some crazy shit.
It's so overwhelming. And at this time, by the time I got to the bottom, I just knew I was in hell, and I knew I was going to hell. But once I
come on. Either that or it's the beginning of a sick, like Led Zeppelin harmonica solo.
Past the portal. All I remember is when I hit the bottom. I didn't feel anything when I first hit.
So wait, you didn't.
So are you feeling stuff, or are you not feeling stuff? Or are you like?
I felt everything simultaneously all at once, but
and then I didn't feel this.
anything. So wait, I felt the heat, but I did not feel that heat. 12,000
I felt
degrees.
everything simultaneously at once except for this.
what's crazy is that the heat, the 12,000-degree heat, he didn't feel that first. He smelled something first. So it's like he stuck his nose into hell.
Yeah. He's like, there's levels to hell.
Yeah, there's levels to your sensory.
You get satiated to hell on your way down.
It all hits you all at once, but gradually at the same time.
Literally. Fucking dumb, dude. Fucking dumb.
It's not his fault. I want to reiterate again, it is not this man's fault. It is Satan. He's a bitch. Okay? Let's be clear. Honestly, I would love to show this man the truth and see if he would actually take to it. That would be great, but he doesn't seem willing to take to it, and that's because he has his experience so confirmed here, and it's hard as well to tell because everyone in the comment section
Ooh, can we see my comment or not till the end?
This is just wild. Like, look at this. I kid you not, this is crazy. Let me tell y'all how God works. This is my dad. I had no idea he did this interview. I was literally just scrolling on YouTube and saw his face on the thumbnail. Shook.
Sure, buddy. His dad told him all about it.
No, it's not even it's not even that. It's just that this guy just saw something on YouTube and said, "Oh, because I saw it on YouTube on this one day."
Oh, well, I mean, that is his son. But yeah, all the rest are definitely, it's comical.
They say at this moment God intervened, as if now he intervened. And it's crazy. What's that one that you were looking at? You were looking at one of them.
Right here. By Robert Z. Abel, 3702. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. This is the most. It's most. This is the most serious. This is the most authentic testimony I have heard. I'm getting every last shred of sin out of my life immediately. I'll do it. I'm gonna get rid of it. So I commented, "Oh, you're getting rid of your own sin? LMAO. It's just funny." Lamau. And this guy, Coat MH5135, said, well, we know most certainly where you're going. Yes, you can repent and fill that dirty cup up with clean water until that dirt is gone. There is always a chance to become righteous.
I'm trying to think.
Wait a minute. So so you make yourself.
Oh my God! Wait! He responded to my comment. Yeah, I'm not reading that.
Bro, it was like a sentence and a half.
Okay, that's how we know, because they don't want to read the whole fucking Bible. They don't want to read shit. That's why they come up with this bullshit.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, you don't want to fucking read, Goat. You don't fucking read. Like, look at how ironic that shit is.
Yeah, I see it.
What the fuck?
And again, it's hilarious. You can repent and fill that dirty cup with clean water until that dirt is gone. So he's saying you
can get rid of your sin.
You can get rid of your sin by repenting. So it's about your repentance. It's not about Christ's sacrifice. Once again, we have a very strong sleight of hand from man Satan here. There's always a chance to become righteous. He acts as though it's probability. God does not say that. Right. He says the opposite in Ephesians 1:4. He says that we are designated beforehand for the place of a son, right? Yeah. I don't need to ask her. I fucking know. And that leads me to today's sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, Christ Lewis, it has been a while. I've very much enjoyed not. It's been freeing. I've been writing a lot, honestly, and I've been working a lot too. So, and when I say it, I mean it. Like, there's like 40-hour work weeks here, and then on top of that, sometimes I work on weekends. So it's very taxing, very tiring. And also another thing is that I was gonna go live earlier this week, but my computer charger has snapped, so I actually am out of a computer right now. I haven't even been able to post on my blog, and For anyone here looking at this YouTube channel, most of my work, again, is on my blog. I'm not always actively using this YouTube channel. More often than not, I'm just using it to highlight that I'm writing something. You can look at my community tabs posts and you'll see like that's where all of it is. All of my energy is directed at that. I've been doing a Roman study. I actually just did a video on hell, which I mean, sorry, not a video, a article. I did 5 articles consecutively breaking down a guy named Pastor John stating his perception of an adulterated version of the Bible. And I had broken it down. That's kind of why I don't feel like doing a whole like careful dissection of everything on my channel right now, especially on this kind of topic, because we already went into, or I already went into it in writing, like, and she helped with the editing side of things, what I need to elaborate on or what I need to just drop and, stuff like that. So all I can say is like, that's where a lot of my heart is. That's where a lot of my work is. It's been less so on YouTube channels. And that's because I think, honestly, through that pre-existence debacle, I kind of found the people that will read what I make and, who accept it. And that's about it. I do definitely get a pretty solid number of readers, so I'm pretty confident in that. I just don't feel much of a need to go right here and make more YouTube videos right now. We'll say like I've got I think the 5 articles on hell, those got like 40 viewers. Or sorry, 40 readers. So that's a lot in my book. It's way more people than I ever thought I'd contact. I thought I'd contact like 5 or 6 people. Come to find there's a lot more people reading what I've been writing. So much love to those people who would take the time. I only do any studies with the intent of getting out as much of the word as possible, breaking it down in easy, like little bite-sized chunks for people. So yeah, that's where my heart's at. But yeah, I've been working here. And I guess like I still kind of have plans to keep going through that maturity series I'm working on. I also am tempted to start taking the things I'm writing and upload them in reading, but I don't know. I'm still like kind of mulling it over. I don't know if I want to. Maybe I'll finish this maturity series first, and if that's the case, that means I got to really start cracking down and doing it. But I don't know. It really depends on how things are shaping up at work. How things are here. So yeah, until then, yeah, it has been a while. And that's also not talking about like video games and stuff. With video games, I probably feel like I should be making a different channel anyway, but whatever. Are you back?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll do a couple more minutes here. We'll go to the hour mark and then we'll let it go.
Okay.
Yeah, anyways, yeah, people think that you're trying to, or people think you need to establish your own righteousness. That's Romans 10, verses 3 through 5. Paul covers that.
I was asking, was it the Lord that softened the blow when I first hit? But when I fell and I raised my eyes, it felt like I had no strength. I felt like I hadn't eaten for like months. I couldn't breathe. It was just.
So this just in, your spiritual body still requires apples and oranges to get through the day.
Oh my God.
It was horrible. Just a feeling of just.
It also has lungs. But no, it's not really a body. It's a spirit. But it's a spirit body.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing.
It's just like this body, but it's the sphere.
Then, but the only thing that kept coming to my mind was, and I know the Lord did this purposely, was thinking of everything that I took for granted: movement, a drink of water, just to have the ability to move my arms, just freely, the ability to breathe, all the things that we take for granted. It was going through my mind. I knew it came from God. I just, like, and I knew I took it for granted. And there, First thing is I look over. See, it was dark, but I'm trying to, wonder if the Lord was making me be able to see. But the flames itself were emitting so high from these pews, like.
So it's dark,
not,
but there's flames. So you can see, but you can't because it's dark.
and
But I thought flames give off light, but it's actually it's like.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's a good point. And then the fact that now it's not like flames everywhere, like hell, the way that they portray it, but then all of a sudden it's just in certain pillars. There's only some parts that are on fire. The rest, you don't even want to know. It's so bad. The Bible doesn't even talk about it.
Like these bits from the rocks. And that's another thing too I want to add. I don't want to move too fast, but one thing I do want to add. For some reason, I knew I was still here on earth. I still knew I wasn't in.
You're in hell, but you're on earth.
They're so all over the place. They're everywhere. Everything all at once. Like
she fell to the floor. That's where he went.
I'm so over it.
To the floor.
Outer space somewhere. I wasn't under space. I was in a different dimension, but I was still on earth. I knew that. I knew it's here on earth. So the Lord is right. Hell is a place on earth. The scriptures are right.
Ooh, baby, don't you know what that's worth? We'll make hell a place on earth.
You're the cringiest person I think I've
ever. It is here on earth. It's just a different.
Besides you.
Yeah,
I think, we were made for each other. That's why.
Yeah.
Dimension.
Yeah.
So as I'm looking around and I'm just already, but I see when the flames, they come up and then you can see the illumination from the flames. You can.
Now you can see.
See. And the first thing.
You know what I think? Any gamers out there?
I'm over it.
This is like the depths in Tears of the Kingdom. That's what that is. In the newest Zelda game, they have the depths, and you just like jump down this large chasm. I'll show it to you, Amaris. It's like
yeah, got you.
It just falls. It's like, bruh, it's stupid. But
thing I noticed were these demons, things. They're the most grotesque, smelliest. Hollywood can't even get close to how these things look. They're so deformed. They had legs and twisted arms, but they had a reptilian look, a reptile look to them.
The correctional officers of hell.
They also have sharks with laser beams.
And their eyes were glowing yellow. Some of them eyes were red. Some of them were like 13 feet tall. Some of them were this big. They're everywhere. And it's just.
Aw, how cute.
Yeah, I would want a little pocket demon.
A pocket demon? Oh my fucking god.
It's like a Pokemon, but evil.
I choose you.
It will constantly bite your hand when you try to reach into your pocket to get them, and it will always kick at your leg. It can't do any real damage. It's just
it'll bite your fingernails off.
Yeah, it's just kind of annoying sometimes. And don't feed him after midnight, or he'll turn into full grown. And then your family gets fucked. So
bugs.
Don't look at me like that. He gets into this. You've seen this.
Spiders. There's just everything. But
oh my god! What did the spiders do? What the fuck did the bugs do? Someone please tell me. What did the spiders do to have to go to hell? What did they do?
Some of them were this big. They're everywhere. And it's just bugs. There's spiders. There's just everything. But what really caught my attention was these pits.
What the pits? I'm still on the bugs and the spiders, my guy. So let me understand this. Which spider committed adultery with another
Jesus
spider?
died for all sins of the world except for the spider sins and the cockroach sins and the bug sins.
Man, they have their own story going on. We don't even.
There's a cockroach Jesus.
Yeah, it's so serious that
it's like fucking Spider-Man in the multiverse. There's a Jesus for everything.
And the Bible doesn't even write about it. So that's how intense it is. God couldn't even speak of it because why not?
Serious question. What did the spiders do? Like, answer me that. That's all I want to know.
What if you
what did Charlotte do?
Ate a fly.
Charlotte's Web, right? That was the name of the spider, not the pig.
He because one spider went to hell for eating the fly that touched Jesus's forehead on the cross or something. I'm sorry.
Everywhere, and this one demon glanced at me and he started laughing, but down in the pit.
Why do these people? Why does hell? Why are the demons so happy? What are they all doing? What has these demons in such a good mood? And why would
They're getting pussy down there. That's what.
Oh my god.
Sorry to be so graphic.
God. Yeah. I mean, it's just disturbing. Like, why do they always have a good time to the Christians?
Aren't they supposed to also be suffering? Like they're the
laughing
ones who
at
are
you.
supposed to be suffering.
They're laughing at you. It's like, wait a minute. But I thought demons, I thought that they weren't. I mean, why does this go on? None of this makes sense. So it goes on for eternity. So there will always be demons that are happy and laughing at you. It will never end. Demons, God can.
They win.
Yeah, he can't
They
stop them.
win.
Yeah, he's not powerful enough to stop those demons. He could squish them, but no. This will go on for eternity. It will never end. But there's no time. But it'll progress slowly.
It's we're just people. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just people. But then I thought it was just one pit. As you really look around and the flames illuminate all of the space around, there's, I would say, hundreds of thousands of pits. And then within each pit are thousands of people.
Okay.
And then around the pits,
Wait.
the flames
It's like
illuminate.
you said billions in the
Yeah. We got to match up the numbers here.
Get your story straight, Jack.
All of the space around, there's, I would say, hundreds of thousands of pits. And then
Is he punking her? Like,
Maybe this is a joke. Maybe he's in the body of Christ.
A joke? I mean, I swear this would be the best satire of all time. This would be like Naked Gun levels of commentary.
Holy.
Within each pit are thousands of people.
Wait a minute. Again, I don't know what happened there. It cut out.
I thought it was just one pit. As you really look around and the flames illuminate all of the space around.
Okay.
There's, I would say, hundreds of thousands of pits.
Hundreds of
what is
thousands
this, holes?
of pits.
Like,
and then within each pit are thousands of people.
Thousands of people. So there's hundreds of thousands of pits. So at most there can be 999,999 pits. And inside of those pits, there are thousands of people each. So that would be 999,999 times thousands, which could be, let's be generous.
You call this your God?
100,000.
That God took an L. He couldn't save these people.
He wasn't good enough. He couldn't get the evangel to them fast enough.
L God.
So
L God.
Say what if it's like let's say 20
L fake Jesus. I'm sorry.
That's 20 million people. And he's still on earth, by the way. So that's 20 million people who are still on earth, who are just inside of pits that we can't see on earth, but they're on earth. And then where then that doesn't account where are the other billions and millions of people that are still on the earth, by the way. And where are all these pits to account for them? I don't understand.
Me neither.
Okay, and then around the pits, you have nothing but these grotesque demon reptilian or reptile-like things, making sure they don't crawl out. It was horrible. You have people who look like bone. I would say they look like bones. Some of them were bones, but actually flesh hanging off, which is incomprehensible to some people to even imagine.
Okay, so there's bones.
So we're flesh, but we're spirit. See,
there's flesh and bones, and the flesh is hanging off the bones. So if you've ever seen Night of the Living Dead, it's kind of like that, but just like a lot scarier.
Flesh and spirit. How can they coexist at the same time?
Well, they do. They're in perpetual conflict with each other, but they exist at the same time.
No. But isn't he dead?
Yeah.
But he still has his flesh.
And his spirit. So his soul is not dead.
So he's not dead. So he's dead, but he's not dead.
Yeah. He's only mostly dead. If you've ever seen that.
No.
Mostly.
But the things that I saw in the tortures that I saw is that you regenerate. So just say.
Wait a minute. My guy, that's Hinduism. So that is not a.
You regenerate in hell.
You regenerate.
Because you're dead, but your body's still alive, and all of a sudden now you have chameleon-like powers or lizard-like powers, and you can regenerate.
I can do that here.
Suffer, soldier. For eternity.
Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up here. This is too much. But Sarah says, "All that your hand finds to do, do with your vigor, for there is no doing or devising or knowledge or wisdom in the unseen where you are going." Yeah, and another
No,
great
sorry, I
one,
just looked at Christ Lewis's comment. Demon pussy. That's funny. Yeah,
demon pussy. Yeah,
there's demon pussy too.
probably. Wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, no, that Ecclesiastes 9 verse is perfect.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry to. Yeah.
it sums it up perfectly. There's one other verse that points out. It's in Psalms, though. I quoted it in the article I did, but I don't remember the citation right here off the top of my head. That points out that every soul, all the nations, will return to the unseen through death. Death is the gateway to the unseen, and the unseen is it's the place of your soul where you are going.
So we'll pause it here.
Yeah, we'll let you go. We'll head on out. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. This was really cool. I was glad to do this. We'll do another one.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey! One flesh.
For the living know that they shall die, but the dead, righteous and wicked, verses 1 through 4. Thank you for giving that context as well.
Mhm.
Know nothing whatsoever.
But
Yeah.
he knew sight and smell and touch.
And yeah, so who do you want to believe? Do you want to believe that stupid ass Bible, or do you want to believe
Do you want to believe that stupid ass God?
my man Dominic here?
Or Dominic, the one who experienced it
the
humanly.
the living God or the dying man? Stay tuned. We'll give you our answers next week.